Hi George.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Right, so we're here at Vegan Campout 2017. So we're going to film this episode right here on the ground so you guys can see what it's all like. George, just wanted to ask you, what did you think of the whole event so far?
The event's been great. It's so good to have loads of vegans that you know from social media and stuff, flying from all over the world as well. Great to see some internationals coming over and everyone just getting together, have a good time. But it's also a great opportunity for activism as well, because there have been some great workshops and talks. So it's not only are we having a great time socially, but we're also inspiring future generations of potentially really effective activists. There could be a new activist in the crowd somewhere who's unearthed. We could be unearthing some gems.
Yes, planting the seeds, so to speak.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Awesome, man. So yeah, it's all around a good vibe as well. Everybody's really friendly. We've just been talking about different issues, spreading love, basically. You know, that's how it is, and we'll see how things go on from here.
Cool.
But anyway. So, George, we want to get into some more controversial issues surrounding veganism.
That's my speciality, mate.
Yes, exactly right. That's why he's like my loaded gun. So, from the beginning, this has really strictly centered around food, and that was for a reason, because I feel like there's a lot of people who've engaged in becoming vegan through eating. So we've gone from that, and we've had episodes of talking about how we can change our eating habits to go vegan. So now we're going to tackle some more serious issues and much more important issues of other reasons you can go vegan. So, I mean, if you want to start on a point, or...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not just about food, because if we say that veganism is literally food, I guess it promotes the idea that it's a dietary choice, doesn't it? When it's not. It doesn't matter. The food part is just one small part of veganism. We exploit animals in so many different ways. We enslave them in sports. We put bets on their body for horse racing. You know, we have them we have them pull carts in fields.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
And so people don't think that that's as important. Why should I care about an animal being eaten, same as I care about an animal being just caged or something? You know, what would you say to that?
So what, to the idea of
separating it from the killing, I guess. You know, like using animals for a purpose, like milk. There's a prime example of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, people when they talk about veganism, they like to justify stuff as humane if the animal isn't killed in a certain form of exploitation. You know, that common argument you get, oh, they don't kill the animal in this, they don't kill the animal in that. Well, number one, no, in most cases they generally do kill the animal. But that's actually irrelevant. It's their inherent right to be free from exploitation that matters. No one would ever justify black slavery by saying, hey, the slave master didn't kill the black people. They knew that that's immoral, because even keeping someone alive and exploiting them for your own benefit, that is something seriously screwed up. It doesn't matter that you don't kill the victim in the oppression.
So yeah, it's all about seeing the bigger picture of what these animals go through on a day-to-day basis. We think they live happy lives up until a certain point. You know, I think in society that's generally accepted.
Yeah.
And then when that point comes, oh, they're killed, oh, and it's done humanely, whatever. You know, it's a bit of a harsh and blunt approach to the whole subject. It's so much more complex than that. These animals have been put in a place of an industry. An industry is built off of the backs of these animals, and so how can we connect people more with that? We can do these lots of videos that have come out. There've been people who've gotten inside slaughterhouses and been able to feel what's really going on. Yeah. So what do you think is going to be the next step from that? I mean, how are we going to engage people in the empathy towards the animals?
Do you know what? You touched on a good point there, because you were talking about people standing outside slaughterhouses and filming them go in. I think that's a very effective form of activism, because it makes people make that connection between the product they see on the shelf, which is a product, and then the once living animal, the living, breathing, sentient being who had emotions like we do, who had rational thought processes like we do, who avoided pain like we do, who wanted to live like we do. And when people actually witness an animal and they see them as a someone rather than a something, which is what we turn their bodies into, don't we? We turn them into some things, bacon, sausages. Yes. It's a way that it shatters their perception of this this idea that I wouldn't say idea, but more the sort of like the wall that's been pulled over our eyes. But
It's like
we don't see the story behind it, right?
the seeing other beings as equals rather than because it's a different species.
Yeah.
It's something of a lower intelligence, or you know, and we can talk about different aspects of that. I mean, intelligence is, in a way, perceived through a narrow mind in the human species.
That's it. Well, do you know what a common question I ask people is, and this is a really, really good trick. If you want, not trick, because it's actually a good question, and it's not a trick at all. It's a genuine question,
Truth.
and it's the truth, and it will really force people to think about what they said. Ask them, what is the trait that animals have that if a human had that trait, it would be okay to do those same things to do to them? Now, people will then often respond, will say, well, it's not what they have, it's more what they don't have. And I'll ask them, well, what don't they have? And they'll say, oh, maybe the lack of awareness or the intelligence level they have. So, okay, so I'd say to them, okay, so you're just admitting then that if a human has a low IQ, let's say the IQ of like what we'd perceive to be low, the IQ of a turkey, that would be okay to do to that human what we do to turkeys. And they would be like, that's I've not heard of
finding all those little
I've not heard a coherent answer to that to this day. Well, no, I have heard a coherent answer because they admit they go down.
Right.
You know,
there's no coherent argument to that.
No coherent argument in response to it.
Okay, well, this has been great. I mean, we are here for the live day of Vegan Campout 2017. I'm sure George is going to be up for a talk in 2018.
Yeah, I'd love to do maybe a workshop next year. I'm thinking about talking to Jordan, the organiser.
Yeah.
About perhaps doing a workshop about answering the common arguments we get for, you know, more for new vegans or non-vegans who are attending. It's not so much for the experienced vegans, but yeah, I'll talk to them about that definitely.
I think anyone can get involved in that. It's going to be a great class in speaking to people around you and really making activism hit home.
That's it.
And personal, right?
Yeah.
So that's something to definitely look forward to. We'll be back in the next episode with a lot more controversial issues surrounding veganism. Pushing the envelope, so to speak. All right, George. Nice to see you again.
Cheers, Ant. Yeah, nice one, mate. Thanks.
That's out.